Hello and welcome to episode 109 of
the Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I'm Jack.
Welcome.
What are you laughing at?
Listen, I don't normally look at you when I do the intro, and I looked at you and you like that every time. Just stone cold.
I'm waiting for a meeting.
I didn't expect to meet
I'm waiting
your
for my
eye.
interview.
All right. What's the interview for?
The entity.
What? You want to be the entity? No.
I could
to
never
serve under the
Yes.
entity.
Yes.
Understood.
A pawn,
Understood.
a mere minion.
Yes.
in the plans.
What's the job title?
You can't know that.
Oh, fair enough.
You didn't apply.
What's the job responsibilities?
You can't know that either.
Oh my god.
Only I can know that.
Right.
I got the job.
You got the job?
Yeah.
Just then?
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Good job. Well, guess that's it then. He's got a full-time job now.
Mm-hmm.
So, see you later.
You'll be seeing me soon. Every single one of you will be seeing me soon.
Hello,
everybody.
Welcome on in. There's enough space for all of you.
Yeah.
You at the back.
Shuffle down.
Don't stand in the aisle.
We may have to go shoulder to shoulder, but that's okay.
No aisle standing. No, you sit down. You sit down.
I'll flash my torch at you.
Do you know? Well, I used to work in a cinema, as I literally mentioned, like the last episode, I think, and part of the job was you had to go down, you had to walk into each screen, and you had to wait for like 20 minutes. Sometimes people go into a screen, forget what they were doing, and just watch the whole movie and be gone for the whole movie.
I would do that.
Do you know what I nearly did that with? Cars 2.
Cars 2.
I was in.
Just too enthralling.
Yes, exactly.
Just too good of a movie.
Too fast, too furious.
Oh my goodness. That's another car movie.
It is.
Yeah.
I was in there for like 40 minutes. Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum,
No!
That was Tokyo Drift. That was number 3.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've ever watched.
I don't know. I think that's the only one anyone's ever watched, to be fair.
I
don't know. I've not watched any of them. They're not really my demographic.
Nope.
Not gonna lie.
They're like the Transformers movies now, though, aren't they?
But,
They're just churning them out.
Yeah. Well, the thing
Churning
is,
them
I
out.
actually really liked the first Transformers movie. I really, really liked the first Transformers movie. Is it because it had Megan Fox in it? I don't know. But who knows?
Did you?
Yeah, I really did. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really did. I think it's because at the time it came out, when was that? It was like
2000
when we were in
summit.
school.
Yeah,
right?
oh my
like
goodness.
2008.
What was the first one called?
Maybe. It was just Transformers, wasn't it? Or wasn't it like it didn't have one of those weird names like Planet of the Apes, where it's like
Beginning
the dawn
of the
and the
end.
beginning of the end.
The dawn of the end and the
dawn.
beginning of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
2007.
2007. Damn. So we were like what? We
How
were
many has there been now?
14, maybe. I think there's been like 8.
There's another one coming out, isn't there?
Yeah,
There's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now there's an 8th coming out.
Yeah.
Isn't like Fast and the Furious like on like 10 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
But that came out like the first one, Fast and the Furious
Came out
way
when we were
before.
like way before.
We're a film podcast now.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god.
I hope you enjoyed this.
Yeah, I feel like the first Transformers movie came out when I was at an age where, you know, Shia LaBeouf was quite popular then.
Shia
LaBeouf.
Isn't it just Shia?
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia
LaBeouf.
Shia?
Shia
The Shire?
LaBeouf. He was like quite popular, wasn't he? Yeah. Anyway,
he
all
was,
of that to say,
I think he was, because then he did that movie about moonshine with Tom Hardy in.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
don't remember.
He did Holes.
He did Holes.
Yeah, he did Holes.
That was when we were in school.
Yeah.
What was it? How did you spell his first name?
Shia. Shia. Shia, and then it's
There
L-A.
There he is.
Is that correct?
Shia in
Yeah.
the space, yeah.
LaBeouf.
He did what? I was about to swear, but
Oh no!
I didn't.
Man, first 5 minutes of what is this?
He was in Fury as well, which was, you know, I'm not a big war movies fan at all, but that was quite entertaining.
Yeah, I feel like he was on the rise at that point. So
Lawless.
Lawless. Never watched it.
Lawless.
I
He was good in that
I
as
haven't
well.
watched a lot of movies. A lot of films have escaped me.
He was
to be
in
honest.
Constantine?
I haven't even watched Constantine.
You haven't watched Constantine?
No.
Interesting.
I had many sleepovers with a friend. She was like the big goth in the friendship group, and she always tried to get me to watch it, along with something Dogma. Maybe just Dogma.
Dragon's Dogma.
No, not Dragons. No, not Dragon's Dogma.
Great.
Yeah,
animated,
great
animated
yeah,
series
yeah.
though. I know it was a game first, but the animated series was great.
Yeah. What were we talking about? How did we get onto that?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway.
Hello. How are we doing?
How are we doing?
What are we eating? What are we thinking?
What are we drinking?
What are we doing? Oh my God! Everyone who let us know what you get up to when you're insane. I mean, I don't know why. You know, we're all humans who do different things.
What? No, we all do the same thing.
Yeah, we all work for the entity.
Especially
me.
Yeah. I'm just a pay grade above you all as well.
Yes. Understood. Thank you so much. Oh my God, it's so interesting to know what you guys do. A big one was
drawing.
And on the way to work.
On the way to work.
God,
drawing.
I can't imagine.
Someone was like, I work out to you, and I work out listening to you guys, and you know sometimes I don't want to go, but then I'm like, it's okay because it's just one episode of the Eldritch Podblast.
Oh.
And then I'm like, we are not the examples.
No,
of, you know,
no
workout
fitness.
I
can't imagine what it must be like on your way to work, probably tired, having to listen to
listen to the story about Shia LaBeouf, Fast and the Furious, and all the Transformers.
Sorry, goodness gracious, sorry. But that's how it is. So we appreciate every single one of you.
Yeah, we do.
However you listen, whenever you listen, thank you so much.
100%.
Is there anything to update the people on before we kind of get into things? There's a few things to get through today, actually. To be fair,
there is a few things to get through.
Yeah,
there is. We did our first workshop on stream yesterday.
Yes, we did it yesterday. If you're watching it on Monday when this went out.
Do I know how it went?
No.
Do I imagine it went very well?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do I imagine there was a few technical difficulties along the way? We are called the Eldritch Podblast, and we are known for technical difficulties.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at me. Yeah. Actually, good segue, Jack.
I'm a professional podcaster, Myra.
So on stream last night, we did our first D&D workshop. The first one. So we clapped out for the dog, but someone very kindly suggested on our last episode, we were talking about how we struggle with timestamps and stopping and editing. Someone was like, an idea you could do is hold up a white sheet of paper, because obviously we have to scrub through anyway.
I'm not going to hold it up because then I'm going to be like,
because then you're going to be like, oh my, this is
so yeah, because a lot of the time I drub through, and the way that I figure it out, what?
Drub through.
Like you drubbing.
Oh, is that what it's called?
I don't know. Scrub, drub. You're a scrub.
No.
you sort of like slide through like at a fast pace.
It.
And, you know, usually I'm looking for like me turning that way and looking at the dog. Or getting out of my seat or anything like that. So, yeah, like holding up a white piece of paper to be like, okay, that was a stop.
Perfect. Yeah. So we're not going to use it for timestamps because that's also way too much labor. But definitely for stops. What a great suggestion. Thank you so much. That's such a good suggestion.
Many minds in the community.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Many succulent minds that the entity will be taking.
Damn.
I will be taking for the entity.
Them wrinkly brains. Oh, sorry for your loss. What were we talking about?
We did our first workshop yesterday.
The workshop.
I imagine it went really well.
Yes.
Technical difficulties aside.
Yes.
So what were we going to say about
it? Well, so the workshops are obviously a completely new thing.
Yes.
We will have a better idea next time
of how they go.
Of how they're going. But we only scheduled one in this month. We posted our stream schedule. It's in our YouTube community post. It's in our Discord. It's everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
It's everywhere.
There's no way you haven't seen it.
It's everywhere.
Right?
And we only scheduled one in this month, but maybe next month we'll do more than one. They are going to be specific workshops. For example, one of them could be character creation and dealing with flavor for character, like backstories, etc.
Or another one could be a magic item.
Yes, like homebrew magic items.
Magic?
No!
Magic.
Homebrew magic items. Yeah. You will know that far enough in advance. We'll put reminders up as well to let you know to get your submissions in if you can make it to the stream. And we have a submission form specifically for that. It is live now.
Yeah.
I will leave it in the description below. So if you have any, you can see all the categories on there.
Yeah, anything from like subclasses to BBAGs to like characters to world primers, everything.
Yeah.
And then we basically pull them up on stream and we work on them together.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be the finished article. They should be something that you either have got that you want to change for some reason, or you are like working on it currently.
Yes, indeed. So
get your submissions in for them.
Yes,
and we can do them live on stream.
Yes, please do. And going into March, you will know exactly which specific ones we will have. So then you'll have a better idea of what to submit. But if there's anything you have right now, put it in. There's no harm. We'll pull from them eventually.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything in our personal lives to update them on?
We've been playing loads of Enshrouded.
A lot of
Enshrouded. We played Enshrouded for 10 hours yesterday.
Yeah, we had a day off and we we built a hobbit house.
Yes, we built a hobbit house.
Which was very, very fun, very cute, very nice.
Yes.
Now that I actually can play the game, I don't know if I complained about it on YouTube.
Yeah,
I think
your
I
graphics
did.
card was out of date.
I definitely complained about it on stream, I know that much. But I got a new graphics card so I can actually play the game, and it's a lot of fun.
It's loads of fun.
Yeah, it's
so
loads of fun. I think we're thinking of getting a dedicated server between some friends, which would be nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's that.
Yeah, it's been
else?
sick. It's been brilliant.
It's been really good.
I'm level 22.
I'm level 7. So there you go.
I'm like 12 levels ahead of anyone.
Listen, Jack is the woodsman.
Yes,
he goes out. I stay at the base.
Yeah.
And I farm.
Yeah.
I build places for the NPCs to be happy.
You build all of the new let's say we did like a spinning wheel or an alchemical rack or something like that.
I very much maintain the
And you're always like, oh, we need this for this new set, we need this for this new thing, and I'm like on it.
Yeah.
And I go
You're the
out
woodsman.
and I get them, yeah.
And I stay at home, and that's how I like it. And I build stupid little things, and I make sure that all the maintenance is still going. And that's how I like it.
Yeah,
that's how I like it.
It's a brilliant game.
Yeah, it's a really, really good game. If you like Valheim, you will like Enshrouded.
Yeah, you will like Enshrouded.
Yeah.
It's just like a... Oh, God, it's a little bit less concise than Valheim, I think. Valheim is very much, you go here, you get these things, you build this thing, that's how you progress.
Then you
to
unlock the next area. This is kind of a free-for-all.
You can just, as long as your like altar is upgraded to like high enough so you can go into like not deadly shroud. You can just go. You can get yourself into a lot of danger though.
Yes, indeed.
You can wander into some very high level zones by accident.
Yes, indeed.
But it's brilliant. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, if you like, honestly, if you're a fan of survival games in general, you will probably like it. Especially if you like Valheim, you will really like it.
Especially if you like Valheim.
Yeah.
Especially if you like Valheim.
All right, well,
we got to roll a new homebrew challenge.
We got to roll a new homebrew challenge.
There were so many submissions.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Time.
There was so many submissions last time. Thank you. Thank you for the
everyone
hype.
that submitted.
Oh my goodness. And as you know, we read them all out on stream. It was like a few streams ago now for you, I think.
Yes.
But
many streams ago,
we read them out, but it was such good fun.
Oh, it was great.
Now, we have changed the rules. Off the back,
a little bit.
Off the back of the first stream, we have changed the rules to something that works a bit easier for us, makes things flow a bit easier, and saves my throat because I read everything out.
You do, yes. So we've got just a few small minor changes, nothing crazy.
And all of these are going to go up on the Discord. Hopefully, by the time you see this, they will be up on the Discord in the pinned submission theme. This should all be in there. You should see all of it. So. The biggest and the most important change is we have taken the submission length down from 4,000 characters to 3,000 characters.
So that means if you are a Nitro user, enjoyer, subscriber, that means you can just, it's one message for you, but it's 3,000 characters instead of 4,000 characters, so don't use your whole word limit or character limits. And for non-Nitro users, you can use 2 messages, one of 2,000 and one of 1,000. Yes,
exactly. Like, this is... It has always been really the only hard rule, but this is the hard rule.
Yeah.
If they're over 3,000, someone made a joke being like, what if it's 3,001? If it's over 3,000, it unfortunately will be disqualified and it won't be read out on the stream. It's as simple as that. That's the only rule we have.
We've got to, like, because we're reading them out on stream, like last stream lasted 5 hours.
To be fair, that was my fault.
That was a little bit our fault.
That was our fault.
But because Margaret reads them all out, I could read them out, but you would all leave the stream because it would be not entertaining at all. But so Margaret's going to read them all out, so we're just trying to make her job a little bit easier.
Yes, indeed.
And 3,000 characters is still a lot of characters.
So, some caveats to this. Now, the limit does not include the characters of the pasted optional template. Again, it's optional. You don't have to use it.
Yeah.
But if you do, just know you can detract the characters from that limit.
From the template.
From it. If you are unsure on how to check your word count, you can either go into a Word doc and then you can do a word count. It will show you that. Or there is all sorts of online character counters. I have left a link in the rules to one that I always use.
Yep.
It's free. It's simple. That's really the only hard rule.
Easy money.
Right? The next one is all submissions must be Discord messages. I know that people have sent in like some homebrewery things, some PDF things, and they look cool as fuck.
They do look cool as fuck.
The homebrewery links look so fucking cool.
They do.
So if you want to send them, please do send them as well as, but not instead of.
Not instead of.
Yeah.
Just copy it into a Discord message for us.
Yes.
Because it just makes our life easier.
It does. And it makes tracking like the character limits easier for us as well.
For sure.
So yeah, as well as instead of.
Yeah.
To be honest, these next couple, like, be creative as you like. We have so many questions coming being
That's
like...
a rule. Be creative.
Be creative.
Organised fun.
That's how it works, right?
You have to be creative. If it's not creative enough,
then get out
we
of
don't
here.
read it.
Then get out of here. No, what we mean by that is we get a lot of messages of people being like, oh, can I do it this way? Can I do it that way? Does it have to be like this? It can be.
It's your interpretation.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of the Homebrew Challenge.
That's the
and
joy
especially
of it.
if you were in stream last time, like the interpretation of like a hope monster with the theme hope was insane.
Totally.
It was amazing, and we had some absolutely beautiful submissions.
Yeah.
And like people are like, can I do this? It's just like, do what you want. As long as you've got the idea of the theme in mind and you're making a monster for the last week.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly. You do not have to follow any typical conventions like making a monster. People are like, do I have to give it stats? Absolutely not.
Not if
you can write it however you want. If you only wanted to do stats, you could.
Yeah, if you only wanted to do lore, you could.
And finally, the last one is just obviously there's no negativity and there's no unsolicited advice. To be fair, we haven't had a single issue with this. I don't think we ever will have a single issue with this.
Put this in just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, this is a safe space for people to be creative, to hype each other up, to find inspiration.
There was a lot of hype.
There was, there
was giga hype for the people in chat. It was great.
I think that was the best part.
Yeah,
that was honestly the best part of people hearing us read them out and being like, that was so fucking cool. That was awesome. Oh my God, I'm going to use this. That's the best part.
And like people are like, do you mind if I use this? And because obviously people have said consent yes. Like there's so many brilliant submissions.
Oh my God.
There's so many creative ideas.
Oh my God.
In
so
there
good.
That even I think I would use. Like
same.
They're so brilliant.
Oh my God. Same.
I would take them and put them if I wasn't running a hopeless void of hope campaign. Yes. I would use them.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So that's it. Those are the rules.
Yeah.
Again, you can refer to them on the Discord. And that's that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being so understanding.
Let's roll a new challenge.
Yes. Oh my God.
It's me this week.
It was me last week. Oh, it is you.
Yeah, it was you last week. Exactly.
Yeah, it was me last week. So,
let me put the timestamp for this.
Yeah, here. This is the rolling table that we roll on. We roll a D20.
D20.
A D20. And we've just had Monster. We've had Monster so many times. Maybe our dice skew to 18s. Who knows? Who knows? What do you want?
Cheater.
What do you want to see for the theme Hope? What do you want to see? I'm going to say it every time. I want to see a world primer.
You want to see a world primer?
Every single time I'm going to say it.
A hopeful world primer would be sick.
I agree.
I think there's so many things that you could do with that.
I agree. Or like, and again, the way that people interpreted hope and actually twisted it into this like not a good thing was really cool. So yeah, I would love to see a world primer. Go on, roll a natural 20 for us, Jack.
Kiss it.
Kiss it.
Good. You kiss.
Mwah.
Oh, mwah. Bully.
Oh, he's already looking at us.
He's looking at us because he's giving the kissy.
He was already looking.
14.
14. Oh my God. It is a BBEG, baby.
It's the BBEG.
Oh my God.
I want to know their law. I want to know their plan.
Oh my God.
I want to know everything about them.
Oh my God.
In 3,000 characters.
This is wow. This is going to be fucking awesome.
This is going to be good.
This is going to be good.
This is going to be a doozy.
This is going to be a good one.
I can't wait to read these out on stream.
I am so excited to see what you guys do. Holy shit. Well, the submissions are open as of right now.
Until Sunday.
Until Sunday, 7 p.m. GMT.
Because at that point, you're going to then open up Twitch on your browser or on your phone or on your iPad or whatever you're doing. And then you're going to come to our stream, of course. And then you're going to read them with us.
Yeah.
And we're all going to go through them together.
Yeah.
And then you're going to pick a winner in chat.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah, join us Friday and Sunday, 7 p.m. GMT on Twitch.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Goodness gracious.
I am so excited for that.
A BBEG with a theme of hope. That's cool as hell. That's going to be so cool. So, with that, how about we read the winner from last week's Homebrew Challenge?
The
winner.
We picked 3 on stream that we really enjoyed.
Yep.
We didn't really enjoy them all, but we've got to pick a winner.
Yep.
And then stream voted with their channel points.
On the winner. And without channel points. Specifically without channel points. Yeah.
Everyone only got to vote once, so there was no bias.
Yep.
Yeah, this is what they voted for. This is what chat voted for.
So the winner of a Hope Monster is the Blightlings by Sherry.
Sherry.
Congratulations, Sherry, for winning the first homebrew challenge of like the new revamped. Yeah, the new revamped homebrew challenge. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Raise your glasses to Sherry.
Cheers, Sherry. Good job. Good job.
The Blightlings.
So, right, let's see if I can get through this without crying again. They're called the Blightlings. They are tiny fae and they are neutral. They have an AC of 10 and HP of 7. They can understand all languages and they have immunities to all damage except for psychic, force, and bludgeoning, and they are vulnerable to bludgeoning. So the backstory. Traversing the Blighted Lakes, a place very few dare to travel, a traveller can sometimes come across the Blightlings. Blightlings are the aftermath of a hunt, fight, or illness that has taken root by the corruption of the lakes. A ship that was downed by an infected monster, maybe a party that was consumed by a mindless beast, or merchants who were turned on by their own as the blight took hold. Opposite to the dreary, lifeless, and stinking lands that they are born into, Blightlings' small, misshapen bodies fluoresce with vibrant pinks, greens, and oranges as they flicker across the lakes in the dusty evenings or deep, still nights. Those who are forced to, or by some madness choose to, traverse these lands within the lakes often take the presence of Blightlings as a sign that they are on the right path. This is because most of the oddities and horrors of the Blighted Lakes seem to steer clear of these tiny creatures. The sad reality of these creatures is they only live for a single day before being snuffed from the material plane. Whatever magic that made them, whisking them away, only providing a glimmer of hope in the wasteland that they were born, a tiny hope of survival and success. Abilities. Whimsical invisibility. Blightlings can turn invisible at will as an action. This invisibility breaks if they take any other action except dash. Hopeful beacon. When adjacent to at least one other Blightling, they can use their bonus action to glow brightly, causing a 10-foot radius of bright light. This light is warm to the touch but does not hurt and heals all of those in the radius for 7 HP for each Blightling adjacent. After this action, the Blightling dies as well as any involved in the beacon. Wayfinder. As an action, a Blightling can touch the hand of a humanoid to impart knowledge of how to escape the Blighted Lakes, but giving the creature advantage on all wisdom and dex checks for 1 hour. But doing so kills the Blightling instantly. Why are they gonna die like that? And Sherry left some art and said the inspiration was the Star Children from Howl's Moving Castle.
The Star Children.
First of all, that was exactly the vibe that I picked up on as well. And I love them so much. And I don't like the fact that they die. I don't like that. I don't like that they die after one day.
It was a brilliant submission. Obviously, it reminded me very much of Blighttown in Dark Souls. And, you know, because that is a very, very unforgiving, very nasty, very brutal place. And just to have, like, maybe these little rays of sunshine and these little specks of hope guiding you the way out. Because as well, it was like in Dark Souls, it's very maze-like. There's like loads of different layers and stuff like that. So I can just imagine them being like there and being so useful.
I know, that's it. It's like and again, everyone's version of hope was different, but I really love this idea that they're these little things that, you know, whatever magic made them, why ever they're there, they are, and they're like this beacon of hope and light, and people who are in these Blighted Lakes hope to see them, to know that they're on the right path. And the fact that as actions, they can also come together and they can heal. I'm going to get upset all over again.
Well done, Sherry.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Congratulations,
what
Sherry.
A gorgeous.
You did a fantastic job with this submission.
Incredible writing. Yeah. Absolutely incredible writing.
There was some fucking doozies.
There really was.
So many great submissions.
Yeah, there really was.
So enter now for the next homebrew challenge of a BBEG in the theme of hope.
Please do.
And we'll read them out this Sunday.
Yes.
On stream.
Yes, indeed. So congratulations, Sherry.
Thank you so much, Sherry.
Thank you so much to everyone who entered.
Yeah,
very, very much.
Every single one of you.
All right, so I guess we'll just go on to topic then. Innit? We're doing horrible D&D house rules, aren't we?
Horrible house rules. I said it like that before we started recording. I was like, I'm going to say it like that.
Okay.
And then you said it like that.
Oh, there you go.
So you stole my thing.
No. We're just connected. We're connected by blood.
You stole it.
Not like that.
Stole it from me.
God, not like that.
You ripped it from my grasp.
I did.
You stole my spotlight.
Oh my God.
I was going to say sunlight.
My stunlight.
My stunlight.
Oh.
I stun you with my light.
You do every time.
Horrible house rules.
Horrible house rules.
Horrible house rules.
Horrible house rules. Again, a caveat before we start. This is called horrible house rules.
Does it mean that they are horrible?
No.
Some
No.
can be brilliant.
No.
They can be just changes from the original rules of the game.
Yep.
If we sit here and rag on your rule, we're only doing it for a little bit of a joke. If anything works for your table, that's absolutely fine.
Exactly.
You use it. That's your game. What works for you might not work for us. And
Exactly.
that is totally fine.
Exactly. Don't listen to us. We're two idiots on the internet.
But do listen to us and keep watching.
Oh my God, please stay. Oh my God,
for
we
the
need
algorithm.
you. Oh my God, we need you.
Algorithm.
So there's actually, I think there's 4 or 5 submissions. So thank you. I know it's a daunting thing, seeing the title Horrible House Rules and sending in submissions for house rules.
For us to talk about.
Yeah, for us to judge and rip apart.
Terrible.
But yes, if you have any house rules you've played with, good or otherwise, please send them in the submission form below. We may read them out on the podcast.
Yes.
And with that, let's get into it. So the first one has been sent in by Danny LeephanTom on everything, and she goes by she, they.
Danny LeephanTom is a stream enjoyer. Thank you very much, Danny.
Yeah, Danny's an OG. Thank you so much, Danny. So good to see you.
So good to see you.
The title is Sharing Spoilers. As a DM, when I create a game and backstory moments for my players, I offer my players if they would like to be a part of the creative process for the parts that directly impact their characters. A lot of my players are neurodiverse and have experienced bad backstories by other DMs. As I myself have also been badly burnt by toxic DMs, I always offer my players to help me write their backstory into the campaign if that is what they wish. And this includes spoilers if they want to know them. As an autistic person myself, I don't love surprises, so I don't expect my players to either. It's a collaborative story, and I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. Lots of love. You guys are nat 20 awesome.
You're nat 20 awesome.
You're not. How about you, Danny?
How about you?
Right back at you.
Uno reverse card. Yeah. You're awesome. So the thing is, right, I have played with neurodivergent people before, and I know the neurodivergent people that I've played with very much are spoiler hungry. They are like, I'll hunt out the spoilers.
Yeah.
If I'm going to watch like Critical Role,
I need to know everything that's
Googling
happens.
all of the spoilers before I get to them.
Yeah.
So I know that a lot of people are like this.
Yeah, I don't even think that is directly correlated to being neurodivergent. I think that's just, to me, that's insanity. I could never want that.
I know.
But, you know, I understand the not wanting to be blindsided, not wanting to be caught off guard. I think a common thing is sometimes when you write your character's backstory, you have an idea in your head how it's going to go and what you want, and if you don't communicate that, you know, in whatever way, sometimes you can lead to feeling disappointed, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like this takes that away completely, like the ability to be disappointed because you're writing it together, you know what I mean?
Because that's the thing, man, like I am actually quite like this. Like there's a part of me deep down inside that every time I do anything and I know that there's like twists and turns in like a story, I'm like, I could just Google them. I could just Google them right now.
I could not be any further from that.
But at the same time, I do love a surprise when it hits me.
Yes,
so
that's it.
I'm like, there's 2 wolves inside of me. And like at different moments, I will listen to different ones.
Yeah.
So like, this is a brilliant role.
Yeah,
for
I agree.
People who, you know, want to control their own destiny.
Yeah, for anyone.
Who don't want to be surprised.
Agreed.
Because, you know, for me, I think I would quite enjoy this, you know, because when I have a story in my mind, when I write a backstory for a character, because I'm a dungeon master at heart,
I know.
I basically write it how I think it will play out. The story twists and turns that I would write for my character.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't go exactly that way, I do get a little disappointed.
Yeah, I feel like that is actually a very normal thing. Yeah. I think especially for someone who comes from a DM seat. Like, you know, how many times have we heard it? Like players being like my DM is acting like this as the player. You know, it's a very common thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying that you're a fucking nightmare or anything like that.
I could be.
But, you know, that's a very, very common thing, I think. And, you know, I do this to a degree. Like, the amount of times I've come to you and I've been like, okay, based on this conversation that Blythe has had with XYZ, there's this. if the chance ever arises, could you set this up for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's been a few times where I've asked for that, but I feel like that's very curated moments between characters, not her backstory, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be further from like the opposite of this.
Yeah, but there is times where you've come to me and you've been like, so I know you've probably got something planned.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like this, and if maybe at the end we could possibly have this, and I'm just like, okay, so because you've all experienced my dungeon mastering, I think that you all now have like faith in me that I'm going to do something that you will actually, I will surprise you, but you will enjoy it.
And listen, the surprise for me, the surprise is the best part of any game. The surprise of being caught off guard or not expecting something or just being blindsided, that's my favorite part, because I feel like in real life it's actually quite hard to surprise me. Because I'm so involved, especially with you, I'm so involved in everything we do nowadays, like as adults. Like, it's so hard to surprise me with anything, right? So I think I enjoy that aspect of it. And I love a plot twist. Oh, there's nothing I love more than a plot twist.
Yeah.
But, but the thing is, when I come to you and I'm like, oh, maybe I would like this, I'm cautious of saying it because I know what you have planned is better than what I could think of myself.
Well, not necessarily.
No, I think it is.
Not necessarily.
I think it is. And I'm so cautious about saying it because I don't want to spoil my own character's backstory, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I trust you implicitly to do whatever. But I do ask you every now and then. You're giving me the 1,000-yard stare right here.
I'm thinking.
I know you are.
I'm thinking about my campaign.
I can tell you are.
I've just had some ideas in my head.
You know what, Jack?
Sometimes, right, when we talk about like twists and turns, I start to just like think about my campaign, and then I start to think about my twists and turns and what you've said, and I'm like,
if you watch that back, and
I've done it. I've done it so many times in this on the podcast.
You know what? I could tell.
Because we talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
I know. I could see you. You were giving me that 1,000-yard stare right there.
So the thing is with this, I think this is brilliant for people who want it.
I agree, and I feel like this is so specific to each person.
The option, because the thing is, it's an option.
Yeah,
it's an option.
Exactly.
Like if you don't want this and you want the Dungeon Master to take hold and just surprise you, which is what Margaret would like, then she isn't going to take that option. But there's plenty of people who have been stung in the past by a Dungeon Master who's done like bad things with the backstory or things that they weren't interested in.
Totally.
And took it in a completely wrong direction.
Yeah, people who want to make sure that certain beats get hit.
Yeah. And the thing is, I like at the same time, I always ask that. Somebody gives me their backstory and I'm like, okay, with this backstory, what do you want to focus on? Yeah. Most of the time, now, in my campaign, everyone's just like, just rub some Jack on it.
Yep.
That's what they say. Just
yeah. You do whatever.
Have your way with it. And
totally.
do what you want. So like it's a little bit different, but I think there's a lot of people who quite like this.
I do too. And I think this is again the importance of talking to each character. It's kind of similar to character deaths, right? Session 0, you go, okay, who's okay with dying? Who's not?
Who's okay with not? Yeah.
Or you go, this is the rule. Who's okay and who's not? Do you know what I mean? I think this is a great one. I think a lot of people would disagree. A lot of people would hate this. I think a lot of people would really like this.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who would actually really enjoy this.
I very much agree. Thank you, Danny.
I know a few people who, off the top of my head, who would.
Yep, same. Thank you, Danny. That's a great one.
Thank you so much, Danny. That's a brilliant one.
Thank you so much, Danny. All right, this next one. This has been sent in by Church of Sami, or just Sami.
Church of Sami?
Use any and all
Seosia?
pronouns. Seosia.
I will never forget it.
Thank you so much, Sami.
Thank you so much for your submission.
Hey up, Mags, Jack, Bully, and the entity.
Hey up.
You all right, love?
All right, love. All right.
That's the most Yorkshire thing I've ever heard. Hey up, Mags.
Hey up.
There are rules. Sorry. Oh my God. These rules. You know what? I was zoomed really far out on the text.
Read it properly.
These rules are more of a sub-rule to our campaign's overall downtime rules, but I'll just call them I know a guy and God owes me one rules.
I know a guy. Look, I know a guy.
My mate Dave. Basically, whenever our party have a week or more downtime in a town or city, there are a couple of generic things we can do if we don't have anything in mind. For example, we can take part in fighting pits or find a job for a bit to earn some money.
Yeah.
Or we could volunteer at a local church and gain an inspiration point for any future rule. Or we could socialize at a local tavern and gain I know a guy point. During any future settlement or even a group of bandits we come across, we can spend our point to say we know someone there. Whether we met them in the previous town or they're friend of a friend, we end up with at least one automatic contact in every place we go.
Cool.
Since we've surpassed the earlier levels, we haven't used it as much as we basically all have something specific we want to spend with our downtime doing. But I think it's a fun rule to add, especially for new players who might not understand how open-ended and fun the game can be. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And also, Margaret, what are you eating? I'm eating now.
No, but
Sami,
you did just have lemon curd on toast.
I did have lemon curd on toast. And do you want to know why? It's because last night we got a comment on the YouTube on a YouTube video saying I'm eating lemon curd, and I was like, well,
we were doing a Tesco order.
You made my mind up then, haven't you?
We got some lemon curd.
So thank you.
The thing is, right, this is a fantastic role for a group that likes to have downtime.
Very much so. Very much so.
You know, one of those like more sandbox games where it's just like we go to this town, and it's just like we want to spend a bit of time here. We want to like, you know, get to like integrate ourselves into the culture and the people and what the town is about, and maybe like make some friends, some contacts. It's a very critical role. They, you know, when they go places, they, you know, get friends, they go and have fights in fighting pits, they drink in taverns and things like that. Like all sorts of just like good fun revelry. Yeah. And, you know, being able to like have something from that. I know a guy.
I love this. I really love this.
Is a great idea.
To be able to guarantee that you know, hey, it doesn't say if the contact's good or not, but at least to say like, well, I know someone in this. You know what I mean? I think that's great. I think that you
could have met the town loudmouth who was I'll be your contact. And then you go and say that to somebody and they're like, yeah, exactly. You trust that guy?
Yeah, exactly. You could meet someone from an opposing faction. Yeah. You could meet someone who doesn't want to be discerned in a crowd. Do you know what I mean? I think that's such a great idea.
It's great, yeah.
I think that really helps push like role play as well. And I know you say like in downtime you can just say go do this, but I think actually in the moment
it makes downtime more fleshed out.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
What it makes it.
Yeah, totally. It gives. I think it makes the world feel more alive. I love that.
Because like we aren't huge on downtime, like, you know, we have a lot of like inter-party conversations and, you know, dinners with people, and like we have a lot of NPC interactions. Like my players like to have like one-on-one conversations with NPCs, because I'll have NPCs be important for like many different reasons. Yes, but you know, like they won't go around the town and go to the fighting pit or go and see if there's an underground like crime syndicate or something. They aren't bothered about things like that, really. So it's. People do downtime differently. Agreed. And if your party is like a downtime enjoyer, this is brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. I really, really like this. That's a good one, Sami. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, this next one has been sent in by Wrangell.
Wrangell?
In the pronouns, they've just pasted Wrangell again. Pronouns, Wrangell.
Wrangell.
Thank you so much, Wrangell.
Thank you, Wrangell.
Okay, so this is a bad house rule that I turned into what I feel like is a good one. With death saves, they used to be normal. You roll in front of everyone and everyone sees what you roll. I had it in the past where others would look at the current saves and say, oh, he's at 2 successes, we don't need to heal him. Yeah. So to prevent this metagaming, I ruled that death saves must be rolled by me, the DM, behind my screen, but I would video it to prove I'm not lying, but only show them the video if they accused me after the session. That is the bad rule. I have now changed it to it is rolled behind the screen by the player, but the player must not say what the roll is, and my players love this. As an addition to this rule, I made it so nothing can give a bonus to death saves. No bardic inspiration, nothing, so it's just the dice that decides. You can still administer health potions and heal as normal though. Also, a fail is 1 to 10 and a success is 11 to 20. A fun detail after it arrives, my player will only roll death saves put of a dice made of a dice of real human bone. It's the only dice that will be used for. Please be honest with these. Bone? Please be honest with all these rules for death saves. My players like them, but I would love to see what you guys think. Have a wonderful day. I'm eating a nice burger with gravy on it with some hot chocolate because it's cold. Damn, you eating well tonight, Wrangell.
That's the new thing. When you put a submission into the podcast,
tell us what
you have to tell us what you're eating while you're doing it.
You tell us what you're
or the last meal that you ate, or what you're cooking.
Or else.
Right.
Oh.
This roll. So, do you want to know what?
Go on.
I like the fact that you moved it to 1 to 10, 11 to 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's the only fucking thing in the game where, like, you know, you don't have any modifiers, you don't have any pluses. Like, the only thing that can help is, like, what? Is not spare the dying, what's it called? Fucking death ward, where you go down and, like, pop
Oh, yeah.
Like, there shouldn't be any, in my opinion, death saves are the dice roll, and that's it.
I don't think we've ever done it. So, I mean, to be fair, I don't think we've ever been in a position or tried to.
There's magic items that can give you advantage on death saves and things like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, so...
I agree. I think just the straight roll, it's kind of what keeps it funky and fresh, right?
I think it's great. I
agree. And you know what? We do exactly the same, by the way. We do the secret death
Everybody
saves.
closes their eyes, and then the player rolls, and only me and the player who's rolling them can see.
We can't react. We have to keep it to ourselves. And it's exactly like you said, Wrangell. It keeps it so much more dynamic because you go, fuck, we have to work something out. We have to get this person up no matter what.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like you have no fucking idea. They're unconscious on the floor.
Yep.
You don't know how they're doing.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
When you're alive and you look bad and things like that, like you can discern those things. But when they're unconscious and, you know, like rolling death saves, you don't know.
Yeah.
So if they roll a success and then everyone's like, it's okay, we've got a bit of time. It's like,
exactly.
You don't know that.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it funnels you away from actual true decision making.
Exactly.
Like,
Agreed.
Normally, I'm a huge advocate for if there's more options, the better. The more informed decisions you can make, the better. Apart from in this situation, I feel like it funnels you away from kind of the real pertinent danger. Yes, of course, you have things wailing on you, right? But, you know, at the end of the day, you're an adventuring party. You want to make sure your friends don't die.
And if one gets beaten unconscious, like almost on death's door, you would probably go out of your way to do anything to save them, full stop.
Exactly.
But when you're like, nah, they've
fine.
got 2 successes. I don't need to worry about it. It's just like, you would never do that.
No, exactly. And you know, especially in your games, you run the type of enemies that would hit us when we're down to kill us as well. So there's the extra layer of we don't know if they've failed or saved there, but what we do know is if this person hits them again when they're down, there's a real chance that they're fucking dead.
Yeah.
So we have to deal with it now. And we really, really enjoy that. I understand that it wouldn't work for everyone. I also understand how the DM rolling it also wouldn't work for everyone. Yeah. Like, we wouldn't like that.
No. I don't... man, like... I think, there's like a moment of like responsibility. Like if I was to roll your death saves and I was to fail, I'd be like, man, what if they rolled them and they succeeded? The only time that I roll is if we are cast and revivify.
Yep.
We've done all the things we want to help the ritual. I will lean over and I will roll the dice.
Yeah,
and that's the only time.
To be fair, you ask. You say, would you like me to do it or would you like to do it?
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah. Whereas someone like Abby can very much separate herself from the roll.
Yeah.
Abby's very much like, well, it's not my fault if I roll so low. But, you know, someone like me, I'm like, God, I don't think I can handle it.
That's until Abby rolls the dice out of combat and gets 3 natural 20s in a row. And then she's like, why did I do that?
Oh, my God. With your dice. Oh, she does it all the time. She does it all the time.
She's rolling terribly in the session.
Oh my God.
She starts to roll a dice outside of combat, like when I'm not asking for rolls or anything like that, and she just rolls loads of 20s, and I'm like, just stop rolling your dice then.
Oh my God, you've absolutely gotten rid of all those nat 20s. They're gone.
So secret death saves. If you have never tried it, implement it into your game.
Totally agreed.
Because it will, I think, improve your combats in terms of their weight and their like suspense and things like that. Moving the bracket from 11 to 1 to 10 as a failure.
Yeah.
And because then it is just a 50-50.
Yeah, scary. I think I like that.
I might do that.
Yeah, I think I like that. I think these are wonderful rules, Wrangell. And
brilliant.
Again, hey, regardless of what our opinion was, you say your players like them, that's all that matters. Even if we came in here and we were like, oh my God, they stink, then, you know, it doesn't matter what we think. But because you enjoy them, your players enjoy them, and that's the most important thing, by far. Thank you so much, Wrangell, for your submission.
Thank you, Wrangell.
Thank you. I've hurt my neck.
Uh-oh.
I think it's because I'm like leaning like
How's
this.
your back? What about you?
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, this is the last of the submissions. So this has been sent in by Midnight Queen. Her pronouns are she, her, and she goes by lost_queen_of_midnight on TikTok. Don't know why I had to read it like that. Sorry.
Because you're 30 years old.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Thank you very much,
Midnight Queen. Thank you so much.
Submission.
So I have this homebrew rule that I'm trying to implement, but a friend of mine made the comment that it could possibly take away from Pact to the Chain Warlocks and or Beastmaster Rangers. I would love your thoughts and feedback.
Go for it.
With pets, you may gain a pet with a successful animal handling check. DC depends on the CR combat rating.
Yeah.
Alignment, etc. Jeez, my mind. blanked. I was like, crispy.
Crispy 10. Crispy 13.
In order to keep your pet, you must make sure to feed and take care of it properly. A pet cannot assist in combat. You may have as many pets as you can care for, and if you do not care for your pet, it will run away. Familiars. Creating...
Like Echiyaki.
Why do you have to bring Echiyaki into this?
Why do you have to remind me of Echiyaki?
Why do you have to bring Itchy into this? What the hell? Oh my god. If you don't know. You know what? I'm not even going to tell the story because it's harrowing, actually.
Margaret lost a pet in Classic WoW because
Don't bring my cat into this!
Because she didn't feed it.
In WoW, World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Not real life, I swear.
Anyway, your pet will run away if you don't feed it.
Yes. Like Echiyaki. Familiars. Creating a familiar bond requires a successful animal handling check, followed by a wisdom check. This bond only strengthens by spending time with the animal and caring for it. If you do not do these things, the hit point maximum of the creature will decrease until it dies. You may only have one familiar at any given time. Familiars are different from pets in the way that you create a psychic bond with the creature. Upon creating a familiar bond, you gain the ability to detect its emotions, give it complex orders, and more. If your familiar dies, you take psychic damage, the amount of which depends on the longevity of the bond and the strength, CR, of the creature. A familiar can assist you in combat and has its own turn in initiative order. It costs 1 free action to give your creature an order in combat.
Okay. So. If you do not have a Beastmaster Ranger, a Pact of the Train Warlock, anything that can cast Pact of the Chain Warlock, anything that can cast Find Familiar, you know, that would this rule would retract from those classes.
Agreed. These rule, especially the familiar rule, specifically would take away from these things.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's not queer. It's not clear.
Queer. It's not queer.
You don't know that.
Could be very queer.
It's not queer. It's not clear.
Yeah.
If that you have these, and if your friend is making the comment because you have those in the party, if that makes sense. If you don't have those in the party, again, someone who doesn't have Find Familiar or someone who doesn't care to cast Find Familiar. Yeah, I think these are great. Like, to be honest, more so flavor than anything. And I understand that the familiar can do a little bit more.
Yeah.
But like the pet.
The thing is, like, I'm on board, but I think you need to just be a little bit careful. Because if you are, you know, using the CR of the creature for, like, their combat stats and stuff like that.
Yes.
If you just tame a brown bear.
Then, yeah.
Or you tame a polar bear.
Totally.
Like, that is going to be so
bonkers.
Strong.
That's going to be, like, not necessarily having another, like, party member on the field. But, you know, that is also equivalent of something like Summon Beast or Conjure Animal.
Which,
you know what I mean?
You would need at least
a third level
spell to do.
Exactly.
And that's concentration.
Yeah.
Whereas yours isn't concentration.
Yeah, you just get it. But then again...
I understand that you need to feed it.
Yeah,
and you need to
there's
bond
like
with
the aspect of like bonding.
Taking care of it. I think players would 100% do this to get a pet, because, you know, if you just take a polar bear into a fight, you've just got like an extra like 60 hit points, an extra 2 attacks,
an extra 2 attacks.
It doesn't do like magic damage and stuff like that, but it's still like another hit
body
point sponge.
Yeah, when I played my Circle of Shepherd Druid and she was a summoner, Jesus Christ,
so strong.
Oh my god, just having the 2 CR1 bears on the field, Jesus, it made such a huge difference. But you know, I think that is down to, it's
down to the table. If your players are happy to do it and everyone's comfortable, and, you know, people who don't have pets aren't upset that the people who have pets are like really strong.
Exactly.
Then it doesn't really matter.
I feel like you're doing this in lieu of. Yeah, you're doing it because they don't have anything like this. They don't have access to Find Familiar. You don't have a druid who can use Wild Companion. You know what I mean?
I would just be careful that you stepped on anyone's toes that can do like any summoning,
and if they don't give a fuck, you know, if they don't give a fuck,
they might not give a fuck.
It doesn't matter.
Like, it is going to be really strong.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of rules to like take care of your pet, which I think is good, because
I think so. I think there has to be
like things that you have to do to get this.
Yeah. Like maybe set up like a CR limit to like the level of what your players are. Definitely set some sort of CR cap. I think
a CR cap. And it could be like a quarter of the level of the party or something like that. So at level 1 you can only get a quarter.
Exactly.
Level 2 you can only get a half. And things like that.
Exactly.
So it never gets like
too
out of hand.
Too bonkers immediately.
Because that means at level 4 you could then get a brown bear, because brown bear is 1, isn't it?
Brown bear is CR1, yeah.
Brown bear is CR1.
Yeah. But like you also have to think, it depends how you play it, would people be able to tame a brown bear that easily?
Well, it comes down to an animal handling check.
Well, exactly, yeah. So
because obviously a Beastmaster Ranger would, because they're a Beastmaster. They have mastered the beast.
Yes, indeed. So, I think this is something that I specifically would really like. I would really like something like this, but at the same time, you have to make sure that it doesn't step on the toes of anyone else. But I'm assuming it doesn't. Or maybe it does because the player. I would just make sure. I would just double check.
And then also it's like, you could just do this, make it... Oh, God, sorry. I just hit my fucking mic. You could make it less punishing in terms of like the things that you need to keep the beast, and just have it as a pet.
Yeah, just have it as a pet.
If you want.
The first bit, the pet, I feel like that's neither here nor there, in my opinion.
Take Sprinkle from Campaign 2 if you've watched Critical Role. Like, Sprinkle had no mechanical value at all. It was just a ferret.
Well, Balthazar, Blythe's pet right now, he does nothing.
Nothing.
He's not there for anything other than just sitting around, being cute and being flavor in a roleplay thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's all Balthazar is, because I wanted a pet.
Yeah.
Simple as that. He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything. And I don't make, because he doesn't do anything, I don't have any mechanical, like, you need to feed him and you need to do these many checks. And
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I really like that Midnight Queen. I think, again, this is so subjective to your own table, and you'll know. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for your submission. All right, let's get on to the Reddit ones.
Let's get on to the Reddit.
Get onto the Reddit ones, innit?
Give me the Reddit.
There's quite a few. That's not that many, actually. It's not that many.
There'll be like 10, I imagine.
Yeah, something like that.
Horrible house rules.
And this one is, we use crit fumbles only if you are untrained in the skill.
Okay. Oh, I don't mind that as much.
So the thing is, right?
Or untrained in the weapon?
Well, that's it. Because crit fumbles, really, the most debilitating ones, let's be honest, are combat-focused ones, okay? Yeah. There is definitely still some out-of-combat ones that can be pretty bad. Or pretty good, I guess, but, you normally wouldn't be going into combat using a weapon you're not trained in, and you would normally not be going to combat using... in combat, I can't, if you try to, I can understand if you're trying to perceive something and you don't have proficiency in that skill.
You're trying to grapple something and you don't have any proficiency in athletics.
Yeah.
So I get that. But maybe this is just because so you must do, the thing is, if the way I'm interpreting this is you must do critical fails on skill checks.
That's what I'm thinking.
Which isn't rules as written.
Yeah. That's the only way that I can perceive this.
No one cares. If you want to be able to critically fail skill checks, totally fine.
Yeah. That's up to you. Yeah.
So and the thing is, I think critically failing skill checks is far better than critically failing in combat.
Very much agreed.
Because it can actually be used as maybe a narrative device. Like you try to, I don't know, like mage hand the crystal upon on the other side of the room, secretly, and you don't have proficiency in sleight of hand, so as you're pulling it over, you drop it and it shatters, and you really needed it, and it's fuck, now we need to find another one.
You try to persuade the guard to let you in, you try to bribe them with money, and you critically fail on that.
He arrests you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Those are far better and far more worthwhile in terms of it, because then it's just well, he tries to arrest me and I fucking punch him in the face and I run away.
And then it could go from there.
And then it's a chase sequence. That's fun. They're things that we like to do in Dungeons & Dragons.
I agree. Maybe I'm just not thinking in the box enough of this, of in combat, and untrained in the skill. Because you let's be honest, you wouldn't be using something unless maybe you're a caster and you get put into the front and you have to just pick up a sword or something.
The only things that I can think of is athletics and acrobatics for physical challenges.
Maybe a strength check, I guess. But
insight, maybe into thinking about what the monster is, the way they're acting or something like that.
Maybe persuasion. Maybe perception, I guess.
But I think this is definitely talking more about out of combat.
Agreed. And if you have any ideas of in combat how this could be related, please let us know. Maybe we're just not thinking in the box enough about this.
I mean, counterspell.
Yeah.
Counterspell is technically a skill check. It's not. It's you just roll and add your thinking modifier.
Yeah.
Well, technically that's not a skill. That's like a attribute check.
Yeah, I was gonna say death saves, but that's not a skill either.
So, I don't dislike it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is,
we
don't critically fail.
Yeah.
There is consequences for failing DCs.
Yes.
But then there is just like critical fails.
Yeah.
So like just very bad failures.
Yeah. Although we have played in a game where if you weren't proficient in it, you weren't even allowed to try it.
But then they would absolutely, they just couldn't even run this run.
Yeah, and that's
I don't
stank.
like that.
That's stank. Yeah, that's a totally separate thing.
Like rogues and things like that just become like the best characters in the game.
Barbarians become
just
fucking
useless.
totally
just
useless.
Absolutely useless, yeah.
Yeah, totally useless.
So I think that I don't actually mind that, you know?
Yeah,
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
It depends. Is there a critical fumble table or is there just critical fumbles?
I think well, I don't know.
Because I don't mind just a critical fumble on like a natural one when you're trying to do something important.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to play with it, but yeah, no, I mean,
we fail skill checks.
Oh yeah, we fail skill checks.
I wouldn't say we critically fail.
No, we're also a big table on, you can't fail skill checks, and what you want to be good at, you really spec into.
Yeah, I mean, you can absolutely fail skill checks.
Oh yeah, but to critically fail a skill check, I think for our table would feel terrible. Because we spec so strongly into what we want to be good at.
Yeah, but then if you roll a 1.
Oh yeah. I know.
We aren't like the thing blows up and you can never use it ever again.
No,
it's not unrealistic, but there is failure.
I feel like that would be a critical fumble.
Like just in a like as we've always said with the critical fumble tables for combat.
Yeah.
It's like I try and pick up my drink and for some reason I ask you for a sleight of hand check and then you just smash your drink into your face. It's just
you lose your eye.
Yeah, you lose your eye and now you're blind in one eye. It's just like that would be a critical fail.
And I think something to adjacent to that, like if Dale tried to pick a lock and then destroyed it, got a critical one. A critical one.
A critical one?
A critical one? A natural one, and then destroyed the lock forever. That would feel fucking terrible.
Yeah.
That would feel really bad for all of us.
Yeah.
We're not the type of players that would take well to that, any of us, I don't think. But I understand people who would like that.
Yeah.
But not me.
I don't mind it. I don't think it's a terrible rule, but
I don't think it's a terrible rule either. I think a lot of people would really like
critically failing skill checks is far better than critically failing in combat.
Oh my god, so much so.
Because I think you can, if done well, narratively create good scenarios.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, if they're just fucking stupid, like the gem that you try and pick up just shatters in your hand and that was the last one on Earth and now you can never succeed the mission, it's
stinks.
Like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, the next one. They preface saying, there's no such thing as a bad rule, just the wrong rule for the wrong table.
I would agree. I would agree.
Well. That being said,
mostly I would agree.
That being said, speaking during combat is your full action. It's getting pretty close to the line.
It's not a good one, that one.
That's not a good one. Like, the thing is, right, I actually understand this in certain circumstances. If there is like a secondary objective, for example, and there has to be some form of communication, or there is something... I can see this in certain situations being warranted, definitely. But that's very few and far between. Every now and then. Think about how much we talk during combat.
So for me, I think that you can talk as a free action in combat.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
But you have got 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So whatever you say has to be sayable in 6 seconds.
You can't have like a big fucking monologue.
When you count 6 seconds, actually, like, what you've got to say will probably fit in it.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Like, get that dog.
Yeah. Or
can I pet that dog?
Like, don't hit it with your sword. It's not going to work. Hit it with magic.
Yeah.
Like, that's less than 6 seconds.
Yeah.
That was like 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And like, you can say those things because, we can converse. Of course we can converse.
Yeah. But, relaying like, what's the word? Not intense, like big information. Like if you've deciphered like a scroll or something and you're trying to read all the text out on the scroll out loud, you're probably not going to get that done in 6 seconds.
No, yeah. The whole thing is like with talking in combat, it's 6 seconds. So you've got to actually think about the time that you have as 6 seconds. What I do not like is, let's just say you say to Dale, don't hit it with your dagger. Use your mind powers. And then Dale tries to reply to you. I'm like, well, you can reply on your turn. Like,
You can talk on your turn.
Yeah. Like when your turn begins, you can reply to anything and things like that. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Like if we're just having a fucking like conversation.
Yeah. That isn't an example of something that's happened, by the way. Just to be clear, that isn't an example of something that happened.
No.
Just in case anyone's like, oh, that's absolutely nothing that has happened in real life.
Like it's just an example. Like, so I think, talking on your turn is totally fine.
Yeah, well, we regularly talk to your enemies in combat, and we have to wait until their turn comes around to hear
for them to reply. Because
that's
their turn.
That's
when they will reply.
Yeah. I feel like the only exception you would have for that is if we're in someone's like actual like big story arc and they're facing like the BBG of their story. You may let conversation be a bit more free flowing.
Yeah, between like you and the bad guy of your story.
Oh yeah.
Or like the bad guy of Matthew and his story.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, like I would have a little bit of like
exactly.
smammy back and forth and stuff like that of like how they're talking about how they're gonna kill each other.
I'm gonna gobble your bones.
Things like that. But I think talking as an action is fucking stupid.
Yeah. I again, I can see situations warranting it. I really can. I can see. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
But let's just take the scroll thing that you're on about. Like, we can't get through this door until we've deciphered this code and we've said the phrase out loud.
Yeah.
Totally fine. But I would say with a successful check, you get further through it, and you can say that segment that you've figured out.
Yeah.
Like, but that doesn't have to be your action. Your action was deciphering the code.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Indeed.
Like, if you. Even big information, like if you've used your action to find that information out, relay it. Of course you should relay it.
Yeah.
And like that's totally fine. As long as it's within the bounds of like the 6 seconds that you have as your turn,
like,
totally fine.
I wonder like this rule, the DM who put this rule in, which I'm sure like quite a lot have, like what are the characters saying that have warranted this rule being put in?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What could be said? Is it things like, oh, don't use fire damage on
I
this
think
thing?
that's what it'll be.
Yeah,
because
I think
like,
probably,
and the
actually.
thing is, right? Somebody has cast Scorching Ray on their turn and spent a 2nd level spell and like hit with all 3 bolts, and then you're like, they're immune to fire damage.
Yeah.
And then the player's like, fuck, don't hit them with fire. For that dungeon master to be like, it's just like,
you have to wait till your next turn if you want. Yeah, you know what? That's actually probably exactly the reason, right?
I think that's stupid.
Yeah,
like,
I do too.
Like this person has spent their 2nd level spell and their action to find out that they did no damage. Of course, they want to tell the rest of the people so nobody else wastes their go.
Agreed. Or like it's things like if you realize, if you're doing something like cold shots, or even if there's something you're specifically supposed to be hitting, like on an automaton or something. If someone just sees that, to be able to be like, it's there, hit it there, I think is a huge thing. But I can also see why, I understand actually exactly why people would have put this in, because that feels so DM versus player to me.
Yeah, and that's just like your players being clever and figuring out combats you clearly dislike and don't want them to be able to like plan together.
Totally.
It's a collaborative story.
That's the point of the game.
We collaborate together.
That's the point of the game.
I spat on my mouth.
No!
Like... So I think, I hit. Talking as an action, dreadful.
Yeah.
Dreadful.
Agreed. Yeah.
If you do it at your table and it works for you, fine, but dreadful, I think.
Yeah.
In terms of rule.
Oh, all right. This next one is, I had a DM that I think in order to make combat more fun for our barbarian who was new, said any attack roll over 20 total was a crit. My moon druid suddenly realized that becoming a fire
Entermental.
No.
Entermental.
No. Really loved being a fire elemental form doing melee attacks. And our monk realized his peak was when he got a +2 hand wraps and crit 4 times in 1 turn. Like, that's it.
Not a good idea.
There is so often, even in low games, even if you just roll like between
15
like
or higher.
Exactly.
Like, and you got a +5.
You're gonna be getting a crit. Apparently.
You've got a fucking 1 in 4 chance every single roll to hit, and that doesn't take into account when you've got advantage.
Yeah, that's why crits feel so good, because
we don't get them very often.
Literally a roll on a dice. That 1 out of 20 chance that you're gonna get it or whatever. I don't know if that's correct math.
If the enemies could do this as well, like brutal. Because there's a lot of enemies that can get far higher to hits of you.
Very much so.
As I've always said, like if you've got 4 PCs and 1 enemy, like a boss creature, that 1 enemy will have a big to hit because their turn is really sparse in comparison to the amount of turns that the players get.
Yes.
So their to hit will be far higher.
Yeah, naturally.
So
naturally,
they'll be critting every attack.
God. Like, even just thinking, we're level 4 now in your campaign, but
some of you have got +6s.
Oh yeah, and the amount of times that we have hit far over a 20, and that would be. And again, the joy of a crit is because it's like the fate of the dice.
And the thing is, this was obviously done in very good faith, being like, we wanted our barbarian to have a better time. I know. So it is a rule coming from the heart.
Definitely.
Potentially not from the head.
Yeah.
Because I think it will get out of hand very quickly.
So, well, to be fair, like they said, my moon druid loved doing this, and then the monk loved doing that. Like, and the thing is, again, if everyone is having fun and the DM was happy to do that, then that's fair enough.
The monk's stock just went through the roof. Being able to make more attacks than anyone.
Oh yeah, and the barbarian being able to get free advantage too. Yeah, feels good. Yeah.
That's a dangerous
feels
roll.
Insane, but
that's a dangerous roll.
Yeah, indeed. I think that done in good spirits.
Done in good spirits.
Yeah, done in good faith.
Yes.
I think. All right, this next one is: I walked out of a campaign because the DM did not allow multi-attacks. You just got more damage dice.
That's
dreadful. No, and you know what? I actually saw loads of people being like, surely that's a good thing, being able to... No, because you're losing another chance to crit. You're losing if you've missed, that's it.
Action economy is
everything.
The fucking premise of the game.
Yeah, totally.
The way that you can get more attacks and things like that is like what the game is built around.
Just adding more damage dice.
So and the thing is, it's like... Like, if you have 2 attacks and you did 2d6 on each, plus your ability score modifier, and then you just did 4d6 on 1 attack with you are losing out on, across the campaign, so much average damage.
Well, that's it, exactly. The pluses as well, because you would only get the 1+ from the 1 attack. That's why multi-attack is necessary, especially for marshals getting into, like, the higher levels. That's why they have to have it. So they can keep up with the spellcasters who get fucking bonkers spells.
Yeah. True Strike might be good. The value of True Strike probably is through the roof. Like guaranteed, because the whole point is,
advantage.
Yeah. But like the whole point is like you forego your 2 attacks on this turn to get advantage with your 2 attacks next turn when you could have just made 4 attacks.
What happens if you're hasted?
What
happens there?
Do you just quadruple the dice that you
That's it. What happens if you're a fighter and you use...
finally just... Yeah, what happens when you use action surge?
Yeah, what happens if you use action surge?
Surely you get another attack at that
Surely
point, right?
You must.
That's just... That just breaks down... Like, what does a monk do? You hit once with your fist. You use flurry of blows to just hit once with your fist again.
Can you even use flurry of blows?
You can't use, because basically you would just use your bonus action to.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
How does bonus action attack work?
Well, that's the point. Like
if you're holding like an offhand.
But as monk. Monks use their bonus action attack.
Who knows?
Or they use flurry of blows.
I immediately need more information on this. This is taken off the Reddit. I know you're probably not watching. If you are,
breaks the game.
I need some more information on this.
Breaks the game and everything about it and the way it is ran.
Terrible.
Dreadful.
That feels absolutely terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, that does stink.
Terrible roll.
That does stink. Yeah, that does. That
is a bad roll.
That stinks. That stinks. I feel like, and to be fair, I'm always torn between there's no wrong rules, just the wrong rules for the wrong game. I'm torn between that because I very much agree. But then there's also rules that change the fundamentals of the game, like the base core pillar of the game, and it's like that can't be good for anyone.
Like, this would probably work far better in a system like Pathfinder, where you just have action points or combat points.
Yes.
And it's just like, no matter what, you can only make 1 attack on your turn, because, the pluses come down every time you make an extra attack. If you can only make 1 attack on your turn, then it inspires a little bit more creativity in a system like that, because, if you hit, you get more damage dice. That makes sense.
Yeah.
With Dungeons and Dragons, where it is all built around getting more attacks and finding ways to get more attacks and things like that, like, it just doesn't work. Yep. So I think maybe in another system this could work, but not in D&D. Not in D&D, I don't think.
Agreed. What do you think? What do you reckon?
What do you think about that one?
What do you think? How do you think all those extra things worked? I want to know. All right, this next one is simply crit fumbles on everything. I left a campaign and I eventually lost a friend over it. It's just that disruptive, and they wouldn't stop. LMAO, random top 5 tornadoes. Let's reroll your characters again.
Oh my god.
Man,
could you be fucking arsed?
That stinks.
And it's like, oh, you think, okay, random crit fumbles on everything surely has to be like minor. Like you get bitten by a spider and your toe is numb for the rest of the day. Like little things like that. But five tornadoes blaze through the town, destroying the town, and all of your characters, reroll your characters. It's it's just fucking stupid.
Man, someone, one of our friends told us a story of a game that they were in. And there was like a wild magic surge on like a D1000 table or something like that. And every time they touched this thing, it would spawn something random. And as a joke, they kept touching it like over and over and over and over and over. And they TPK'd the party because
they spawned a lich.
They spawned a literal lich. Which destroyed everything.
Because they were like level 3 or something.
Yeah. And, you know, they just didn't realize the consequences of touching the door so many times. And, you know, they just thought it was a funny joke. But it literally ruined the whole game, because tables like that to summon a random lich,
and the thing is, I always feel like they're put in because they think it like spices the game up, and I just feel like there are so many better ways.
Totally, there's so many more controlled ways.
There's so many more, like, just like have the chaos happen through your story.
Have
a chaotic story if that's what you want. Just doing random bullshit like this isn't fun.
I actually feel like if it's done in the attempt of adding in some like spice or some flavor of variety, it's often done by, and this is no shade, like DMs who aren't able to deal with the repercussions of the random thing happening. It's normally done in a way that they're, how could you deal with 5 random tornadoes turning up?
But that's it. It's like, 5 random tornadoes tear through the town and you're all dead. It's just like, well, so it's like, no matter what happens with the tornadoes, could we run away? Could we try and fight the tornadoes in terms of like, could our druid try and control the wind and keep us safe?
And it's just like, let's re-roll characters again.
Yeah.
Like that stinks.
Yeah,
that stinks. And the thing is, like, this is like a crit fumble table. Like, crit fumble tables on everything.
Skill checks, saving throws, attack rolls. Like, the amount of natural ones that you roll during a session. You probably get a couple of natural ones between everyone, like 1, 2,
easy.
You know, anywhere between 1 and 10 natural ones in a session.
Easy.
That's 10 rolls on a random crit fumble table. 5 tornadoes could spawn
That could spawn 5 tornadoes. What's the point?
What's the point? Like, what's the point? Like,
what's the point?
Is it because you don't know how to make the game fun without something like this?
I don't know. And, you know,
or is it because you love misery?
And it could all just be a meme. You know what I mean?
It could just be a meme.
Like, it could all just be a meme, and that's fine.
It wasn't a meme to that person.
True. I was going to say it's fine if everyone's fine with playing like a game like that, like in a meme game, but does not sound like OP
Doesn't sound like anyone else was having fun apart from the Dungeon Master.
This is actually another one from the same poster,
person.
But I've split them up into 2. To sneak attack in 5e, you have to surprise the enemy. The rest of the text on sneak attack in the description is completely irrelevant.
You have to. The amount of, I've said this before and I'll say it again, the amount of times that you guys have actually had surprise in my campaign is so minimal.
Like maybe once or twice in a campaign.
And I understand that some people like giving their party surprise more often. But do you want to know what? When you do get surprise, you have such a leg up in the combat. It's unbelievable. And especially if then the enemy rolls low. Like
the thing is though, right? You have to surprise the enemy. This can only work once in a combat. So you're only getting your sneak attack once in a combat as a rogue, which the only way
premise of
you do your damage is sneak attack. Oh my god, we've said it before and we will say it again. Give your rogues their sneak attack.
Give your rogues their sneak attack.
Listen, they've named it terribly.
It's not a good name.
They have named it terribly.
And they're keeping it for 1D&D.
I really think they should have changed it.
It should be Attack
the Unaware.
Attack
the unaware.
We've said it before.
It should be attack the vulnerable.
Attack the children. Like, the thing is, that's it. Like, they don't get particularly good weapon choice.
Yeah.
They don't get multi attack.
Yep.
They can use their bonus action to attack if the weapon permits.
Yeah, or you will have to spec into a feat to be able to
get the
so you're using
the
a
extra
feat
attack.
or an ASR.
Like the whole point is it's like that other role, and you can see like rogues yes, their damage is good. Later in the game, it does fall off a little bit.
Yeah.
And
but sneak attack damage is good.
And it isn't particularly consistent.
Yeah.
Because terrain permitting for when you can hide.
Absolutely. Like party permitting too.
Yeah. And so, because if you don't have another martial class that's, like, up against the enemy that's giving you that sneak attack, you aren't going to get it. So the thing is, remember the other rule where it was just like, damage dice just goes up.
Yes.
That's what happens to the rogue.
That is exactly.
That's what happens to the rogue.
That is.
And everyone fucking hates it, clearly, because we try and take it away from them so much.
Yeah.
And it's not consistent.
Oh my God. I cannot stress enough how the name sneak attack is not applicable. It's not correct.
It's not about sneaking.
It's not about
or
sneaking.
Surprising.
No, it certainly isn't. If you have advantage on your attack, if one of your... this is just for a base rogue, not like a swashbuckler or anything. If one of your... what's the word? Combatants? Enemies. One of your allies. One of your allies is within 5 feet of the enemy, you get sneak attack. You have to read the rest of the text.
Yeah.
The whole surprising thing. Oh my God.
Either they're next to an ally of yours, or they have advantage given by any reason.
Anything.
If it's
hiding,
guiding bolt, it doesn't matter.
Yep. Like, silver barbs.
Yeah, if they have advantage for any reason, they have sneak attack.
Yeah.
And do you know what this also does? Let's just say we've got a plate-wearing fighter in the party with the rogue, and the rogue's like, right, let's be quiet, so I can get sneak attack. And the fighter's like, okay, I'll try, but obviously I need to get close. And it's just like the fighter fails and makes the enemy aware of the party. And the rogue's like,
I know.
That's
like,
doing this. That's making friction.
I would like to think in a game where it's like you have to surprise the enemy, if they use their bonus action hide, does that count as actually being hidden and then being able to surprise them?
No.
I know.
That's not surprise.
I know. Oh.
That's so annoying.
That's the worst. That's rustled my fucking jimmies.
My jimmies have been rustled.
My jimmies have been rustled. Give your rogues a sneak attack. Poor rogues.
That's how they get. That's how they do their damage.
Rogues, man. Poor rogues. Poor rogues.
Poor rogues.
All right. Okay. This next one. Warforged cannot be healed by the standard healing spells as they are constructs. This was also only announced in the middle of combat as the bard tried to heal my fighter Warforged from taking a fireball to the face. The DM invented a special version of healing word that the bard could use when I pointed out between sessions that should mean that I am immune to psychic damage. I don't necessarily understand that last bit.
I don't understand where we've drawn the connection between healing and psychic damage.
Yeah, me neither. But taking I feel like what is the main point? That Warforged cannot be healed by normal healing spells.
Boring.
Boring.
And the thing is, if that's the way you want to rule it, and that's the way you want to flavor it, and I know that there's people who do like to do things like this for Warforged because they are automatons and not humanoids, technically they're constructs, then you have to tell the people before they pick that class.
Oh my God,
because
certainly.
They can then decide if they want to play something that's going to be a fucking hindrance.
Yes, if you have gone in session 0 or at any point before this going, by the way, this is how it works, and the player has gone, yeah, that's fine, then that isn't a problem at all.
Then that's not
There's
a problem.
no problem
and
at all.
As long as somebody has, because the thing is, if it's a special spell, because then it's going to be on nobody's spell list.
Yes.
You need to give the people who have access to healing access to the spell if they want to take it.
And it can't cost more.
No.
It has to be the same.
Yeah, it needs to be bonus action for like the 1d4 healing spell.
It can't be different in any way. And the thing is, I'm like, just reflavor things. Like, yes, this is like, do you remember ages ago we read a horror story where OP, I think it was a submission, was like,
try to cast Featherfall.
Yeah, and I tried to do my cure wounds is like this weird injection. But then it turned into being a check. It's like, just reflavor
and then
things.
I poisoned my ally that I was trying to heal, and then I tried to cast Featherfall, and they said that you couldn't give out the parachutes.
I know.
It's I get it. I get that they aren't humanized.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
I understand that, but it's like you have to give out all of this information if somebody's
way before the point.
If someone's going to pick that race,
absolutely,
because you've just made it not only harder for that person, you've made it harder for everyone around them to heal them and like care for them and things like that.
Totally.
Like that's going to take up another spell slot, like on the healer's spell list.
No, and I feel like
just a nightmare.
This once again, this just breeds like potentially contentment between the party.
Yeah.
Like, to be like, man, the Warforged is so difficult to heal.
Yeah, and oh my god, I can't believe the healer didn't pick that healing spell
I
just
know,
for me.
I know,
like,
exactly. It's a really slippery slope, I think. Just theme it differently. Theming it differently for a Warforged is cool as fuck.
Yeah, it costs
right?
us.
That's cool. Theme it differently.
You oil their joints.
Yeah.
You find a way to get rid of their rust.
When I oil your joints. That stinks. Again, nothing wrong. Genuinely nothing wrong with that. But
theming it differently.
You have to tell people.
But not mechanically.
God, you have to tell people as well if you are going to mechanically do it.
Yeah.
All right, this next one. I had a DM who had this convoluted rule where if you rolled a 1 or a 20, you then had to roll a d4 to determine the severity. And the severity could run from natural 1 to knocking you unconscious for the fight, or a 4, literally throwing your entire group into another plane of existence, and you lose a magic item. And if you don't have a magic item or boon to lose, you die. No ifs, no ands, or buts.
Of course.
Your character dies.
How? Of course you do.
And for a natural 20, 1 is just a standard critical roll, even if it was something like saving or a skill check. And 4 literally ends combat, even if it's BBEG tier combat. Oh, and you also get a magic item.
It's just like, do you want to know what? Like, the severity thing could be cool. Like,
I agree.
You roll a 1. Let's see how badly you fail.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
that could be cool.
It could just be just a natural 1 where you fail, or it could be something like a little bit worse. When we start to talk about, okay, I tried to cast magic. No, let's not take magic missiles because we can't do that. We try and cast fireball at the enemy. I roll a natural 1 in combat. Okay, you are level 5. You suddenly cast planar, like swap plane or whatever it's called. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, I don't even have access to that spell. How the fuck did this happen? How did I get everybody on the battlefield to come with me? And then how did it destroy a magic item?
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen?
I feel like that is for all these crit fumbles, and I mean, technically this is a crit fumble, right? All of these things, it's
plane shift.
Yeah. all of these things, it's just like that. Oh God, you know what? On the natural 20 side of it, getting the 4 and just ending a combat, the BBG combat, that would feel so bad.
Just boring.
That would feel so fucking bad.
We've made our entire journey to get to this point.
Yeah.
We've, taken down the minions, and we've cracked the code, and we've found out what you're up to, and we've traversed your tower, and we're finally here, Vecna, and it's time to fight you. Barbarian rolls a natural 20 with advantage. I know. First round of combat, and rolls a 4 on the D4. Done.
Over. I know, that would feel absolutely terrible.
Like, the Dungeon Master must have planned that combat.
Oh, God, of that. Well, surely, yeah.
But imagine, you get to that point and the Dungeon Master was like, well, do you want to know what? This time it won't happen.
I know, and then you're like, well, like, yeah, I feel like, again, things like this that are just, you are so shoehorned.
You're locked in. By
doing this, you are so shoehorned into doing one thing or another. And it must feel terrible for DM too.
They're always fucking unrealistic.
Unbelievable,
as fuck.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like, we always talk about like how when we're in combat we describe this and we describe that, and it's like graphic, and we talk about how we do things. It's like, go on, Dungeon Master. As I've said it before, tell me how. I cast plane shift as a level 5 character, teleport all of my friends to a different dimension that I've never been to, that I don't have like an attunement item to fucking go to or anything like that. We're just going to throw all of that out the window. But it's happened.
Yeah, I know.
How?
It stinks. I know.
It's just fucking stupid.
It does. It stinks. Like, I just, like, again, it goes to show how many things like crit fumble tables are on here, right? Like, genuinely, every single time I check Reddit threads, it is like 80% crit fumbles. Like, genuinely,
and again,
is.
I don't even mind the severity dice.
No, I don't mind the severity dice either. I think that's kind of
cool.
Yeah, I don't mind it
like
either.
When you roll a natural 20, it's 1, 2, 3, or 4 on the D4, and you get to add like a brutal critical amount of dice.
That's cool. I like that. I do like that because that feels really rewarding and really cool.
Super fun,
and I like that.
Yeah.
But that stinks.
Stupid.
Yeah, that stinks.
Stupid.
All right, this next one is this is the third to last.
Somebody got really upset that Margaret didn't say penultimate.
It was Danny. This is DannyLeephantom. Yeah. So hey, I'll say the word.
It's gonna happen next.
It's gonna happen. But right now, thank you everyone who let me know if you wear Velcro shoes.
Listen
to my Velcro shoe wearing friends.
Yes.
You're off the hook. Oh, my shoelace wearing friends.
Shoelace? Oh, you shoelace motherfuckers out there.
You better start tying them up right now.
You better at least begin to think about where your shoes are.
Yeah. Entity, make them think about where their shoes are.
Having to find them.
Oh.
And then having to tie them. I'll just let your mind wander for a second about where your shoes may be.
All right. This is inspiration gives you a free natural 20 on any D20 roll. This one wasn't bad. It was just more unbalanced than anything. But pair it with the fact that you get inspiration from arriving on time or bringing snacks. Some ridiculous shenanigans were pulled in that game.
Like, that's it. Having inspiration and being able to get a natural 20 would actually probably be quite a cool mechanic.
I agree.
The marshals can like hold on to, or like spellcasters could hold on to for like if they were to make a save against something.
Yeah. I agree.
It's not a bad mechanic at all. Like inspiration, natural 20.
Yeah.
But getting it that easily?
I know. But
and does it stack?
Listen, I will say that is a good way to get people to arrive on time with snacks.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I will say that is a very good way. And
Brilliant
to be fair, it actually sounds like, just reading...
Just sounds like a bit of crack.
How OP's written this here, it sounds like it was just a bit of fun. Yeah. And, again, any of these rules, if it's just a bit of fun, then who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But, I actually really like. I think this is quite funny.
Yeah, it's all done in good. It's all done in good faith, and all done, for the players and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which I think is great.
arriving on time,
and bringing snacks.
Yeah,
like you're just creating a good environment.
I agree. You may be shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, I think. But if you don't mind either, then that doesn't matter. And the thing is, it's like if they don't stack, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, true. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You can only get one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a little funny one, isn't it?
I like it.
So funny. All right, this is the penultimate.
Penulti.
Get ready.
Shoes
on.
Acquired.
On. Get your shoes on.
Put them on. Start tying them.
Jesus. Yeah, pick up your popcorn. Pick it all up. Pick up your drinks. You didn't finish your slushie too bad. Take it home with you.
Yeah, and just because you sucked all the juice out of it, and it's just that like grey
pale
ice inside of it. You guys still gotta take it out.
You still gotta put it in the bin.
There's nothing sadder than getting a slushie, being hyped as fuck for it, then sucking out all the juice,
all the joy,
and then it's just boring ass ice.
I know. In the cinema, we literally oh my god, cinema talk. We had like two different bins, and one was like a slushie bin and one was a drink bin, because obviously you can't just throw drinks away in bins. And by the end of a shift, they would get emptied more than once a shift. They were fucking disgusting.
I bet they were.
You can fucking imagine how vile those bins were. Oh my god.
Ew.
Disgusting.
Penultimate.
The penultimate. Making it a little bit harder for us players. Weather D20 every morning. A weather table 1 to 20. If it rained, we all got wet, cold, and uncomfortable, and had a really hard time lighting up a fire. Upon a fucking storm on a 1 to 3, well, chance to get hit by lightning if you were out in nature.
Jesus.
And also accommodation quality D20. If we rolled like shit, then there would have been rats, bed bugs, lice, ticks, and stuff. The more we paid, the higher was the plus upon the roll, so you could avoid stuff that actually it would make you sick and it would give you a fever.
It's... Man, like, the thing is, there's probably people who would enjoy it.
I very much agree. I can imagine a lot of people who like to play the games like this, kind of like RPG, like
survival game.
Yeah, like realism games would fucking love this.
It's like, like having to weather, because weather is a thing.
Yeah.
And, people love rolling for weather and, like, determining that, it is hard to get a fire up and get, like your tent pitched and things like that in, like, gale force winds.
I think even we would like that, honestly.
I just think it's just a lot for the Dungeon Master. But the Dungeon Master's got to figure it out then, fair enough.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, accommodation, I get it. Like, I think if the party buys into this, fine.
Yeah.
If the party, like, enjoys this, I think they will really enjoy it. And it'll add like another layer to the game for them.
Yeah.
But if your party doesn't care about this, like, it's so hard to get them to buy into shit like this.
Yeah, oh my god. Trying to get a party who isn't concerned with things like this, putting this in and trying to get them to care, like that for us, that would be so frustrating for us.
Yeah, you wouldn't like this.
No, we wouldn't. And again, like, It depends. How much gold are you getting? If it's a game where you don't really have to worry about gold, then actually maybe it could be a fun thing to do, right?
So like pay more to get the better accommodation, to get a better night's sleep.
Yeah, sometimes you have to deal with the bad accommodations. Sometimes you can pay a bit more. But that's such another layer of the game, like for the DM to have to manage.
Yeah, but again, if the DM wants to do it,
true.
Otherwise,
yeah, true.
What would be the point of putting the fucking rules in?
But you get a fever. You know what? I could have sworn that it said something about like you, and when you had a fever, you had exhaustion or something like that. I could have sworn it said. I mean, I haven't pasted it in, so maybe it didn't. But like, that's, I guess, the correlation I would go to. What would actually be the severity of like being cold, getting hit by lightning, having a fever? What would be the actual like mechanical disadvantages to that?
Because if they're massively severe and like hindering, then I don't know. I think players would again be less likely to buy into it.
But I can see a world where a lot of people would really like this. Obviously OP didn't, but I can see a world where players would really like this. That was a big stretch. Oh, it was a really big stretch. Oh. All right. Your shoes are on, right?
Yeah.
Your shoes are on.
Just walking out.
Because the lights are on, by the way. The lights are on in the auditorium.
Credits rolling.
Yeah. And the credits have stopped. There's no music anymore.
Stopped?
Yeah.
What are you still doing here?
Yep.
Don't you dare go in there.
So this last one is the ultimate.
The ultimate?
When I first started, we would roll initiative, and then whoever rolled the highest would just have our turn order go clockwise around from that player. It was fine to help us learn the game, but after a while, I found myself sitting next to the rogue so I could always be second, and I could get all my buffs supplied to the party before they started attacking. The worst was when the rogue started to sat right to the DM, so all the enemies went before the party.
That's it. That's the thing. Like, if you've got the rogue, the monk, the ranger, anyone who's like dexterity based, sitting next to the dungeon master, and it goes that way around, you're in fucking trouble.
Yeah. See, like, do you guys? Question for you. Do you have, if you play in real life, do you have like a seating plan? Like, do you stick to the same seats every time, or do you move around? Because we pick our seats, we stay in them.
Yeah.
They've never changed. To be fair, they changed when Abby got here.
I remember when we went to a game and somebody didn't want me and you to sit next to each other.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
Yeah, they were like, no, you'll have advantage if you sit together. And it's
I don't want like nattering, and we were like,
what? We weren't even allowed to sit opposite each other.
We're like 28 at this point. I'm 27 years old.
Yeah.
Like, we aren't children.
Yeah. We have not a seating plan, but we
you're sitting in the same seats.
Oh my god, we all sit in our same seats. Yeah, God, I couldn't imagine anything worse than moving seats every single time. Yeah. That's actually visibly upset me thinking about it.
When I'm not the dungeon master and let's say Matthew's running, I have to sit in Matthew's seat, or like in Margaret's seat, or in Abby's seat, or in Josh's seat when they do something. Yeah. So, it's a great, simple way to help people be like,
it is.
Okay,
it is.
Okay,
it is.
You're next.
It is.
Especially at the beginning, maybe.
I will say, yeah.
I don't think initiative is a particularly hard mechanic to wrap your head around.
No, but I can see why you would.
But the thing is, if you don't have a tracker, then it might be. Like, we've got an initiative tracker like on top of my DM screen, so you can see where you are and stuff like that.
Yeah, true.
So if you don't like write it down or anything, and you just try to do it off memory, it can get a little complicated.
I would always recommend getting an initiative tracker.
Always
by the way.
get an initiative tracker.
Oh my god, 100%.
I don't think I could live without an initiative tracker.
Me neither. God, no, me neither. I just think that's funny. It's like, I would always sit next to the rogue to make sure.
I can get all my buffs up. I can get me blessed out as the cleric.
Yeah, just a bit of a funny one to end on, innit? Just a bit of a funny one. I hope you enjoyed.
Yes.
Your shoes are on. You stood up. Good. You're filing out. Single file, please.
So... www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Go and pick up some merch. Thank you to everyone who's bought so many t-shirts.
Oh my god.
You keep buying t-shirts.
Thank you.
We appreciate it so much.
Thank you so very much.
So much. Our Hellbound Etsy store is down below. You can get notebooks with your character's name on it, spell bags,
oh my god,
dice bags with your character's names on it, spell cards.
What's going on?
Mugs, presents, everything. Head on over. Code Podblast will get you 10% off a discount. Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. Like the video. Hit the bell to be notified when we upload a video on a Monday and a Thursday.
If you learn anything.
Yeah.
If you learned about Shia LaBeouf, please give us a like.
But like and subscribe and all those things, it helps the video so much.
Enter the Homebrew Challenge.
Go on to Discord, and we don't have a We don't have a workshop up at the minute, do we?
No.
Not at the minute.
But no, please send them in regardless.
Yeah. Join the Discord. All the good stuff.
Click at me.
Yeah, I was trying to remember.
Oh, right.
You know when you try to remember and you're like, my mum does it all the time. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Hey. You.
Attention. You. Attention. We love you very much. Comment down below. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you. We've been the Eldritch Podblast.
Bye.
And we're going to see you on Thursday. Bye.